So if you've been following me for a while, you guys know that for New Year's, my family and I have this tradition where we bring a new cuisine to our kitchen. One, we are sick and tired of tamales and posole by the end of the year. Two, we want to be a little bit more cultured and learn about other cuisines. For the first year, we did Vietnamese and the Philippines. We had pho, pancit, lumpias, along with other dishes. The second year, we did Korean. So we had Korean barbecue. We had all of the sides, toppings, and everything that you can think of we had. And everyone got the chance to cook their own meat on these little table grills. Last year we did the Caribbean, so we had Puerto Rican, Cuban, and the Dominican Republic. I did a pernil, which was so freaking bomb and crispy, and I still cannot believe that I deleted the footage and I have no evidence of me making this video. We even had arroz con gandules, Cuban sandwiches, tostones, I believe mango. I don't remember. There was just a lot of things that we made. This year, we decided to do the Middle East, mainly focusing on Palestinian dishes. Like I said, the whole purpose of this tradition is to be more cultured and to learn about other people's cultures. To also bring awareness of everything that's happening around on earth. There's currently a lot of things happening right now in Palestine, and I was really iffy about posting this video, especially after just opening my app and seeing how there's a lot of people starving in Palestine. And we're over here cooking other traditional dishes, and it honestly was making me feel really guilty. The reason why we chose Palestine is because we have them in our minds, our hearts, our prayers, and we pray for ceasefire. There you have it, guys. This was this year's cuisine. Hope you guys like it, and free Palestine. Let me show you guys how I made the Harissa chicken kebabs for our New Year's celebration. Those who don't know, every year for New Year's, we choose a different part of the world's cuisine, and that's what we make. We chose the Middle East, and this is how we made the chicken. I'm gonna begin by making the Harissa sauce, which is a spicy pepper paste. Using all the ingredients I'm gonna list on the screen, we're going to use the food processor to blend it. Now we're gonna add our spices. We're gonna mix everything together, and we're gonna marinate our chicken. I chose to use boneless chicken thighs and chicken breasts. To mix the paste onto the chicken, we're gonna mix everything together and let this marinate overnight. I chose to make these into kebabs, but you don't have to. You can also just saute this with a little bit of ghee or some olive oil. You can also grill it and make some chicken harissa bowls with some white rice and all the toppings. Oh my gosh, I'm actually gonna make this for my friends and followers, so stay tuned. In this case, I made it into kebabs, and the plan was to go outside and grill them, but I got too busy and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stick them into the oven at 500 degrees until they get nice and crispy on the outside and they're cooked in the inside. As soon as they come out, I just brush them with a little bit of melted ghee, sprinkle a little bit of fresh parsley, had all the toppings necessary, and there you have it, guys. Hope you like the recipe. Bye! So this chicken Maqluba was one of the dishes that I really wanted to make for our New Year's celebration. And let me tell you, I watched a lot of videos here on TikTok, YouTube. I even went on Google. I was determined to bring this to the table, and this is how we made it. I begin by seasoning chicken thighs and legs. I make a slit through them, put on my dry spices, and then we're gonna add some olive oil, and we're gonna let this marinate for about an hour. Once my chicken has been marinated, I'm gonna sear it with a little bit of ghee, and then we're gonna put everything back into the pot. I'm gonna fill up my pot with water, and now we're gonna add our aromatics, garlic, onion, star anise, along with all the other ingredients I'm gonna list on the screen. I'm gonna let that boil for about 30 minutes. In the meantime, we're gonna prep all of the vegetables. And don't worry, guys, we're gonna continue cooking the chicken. I ended up slicing the eggplant long ways because I kind of wanted it to droop over the Maqluba. You can also cut it in rounds, kind of like the potatoes, and just season it up with salt and pepper, and then you're gonna deep fry them, every single vegetable. To the bottom of the pot, I put my tomato, and then I drooped the eggplant, and then started lining up all of my potatoes. I only had one green bell pepper left, so I ended up putting that one green bell pepper. I'm also gonna add my caramelized onions that I seasoned with some sumac, salt, and pepper. You can add whatever vegetables you like. These are just the ones that I added. I fried up a little bit of fideo, and then I put it towards the bottom, a little bit of rice, and then I put my chicken back inside the pot. I forgot to mention that after the 30 minutes of you cooking your chicken, you're gonna separate the chicken and the broth. Now I'm gonna top everything with the rice, and we're gonna add the same seasonings that we added to the chicken. We're gonna add the broth to the pot, and remember, this broth is full of flavor. Once your rice has cooked, you're gonna let this cool for about 20 minutes before flipping it into your biggest platter. We're just gonna garnish it up with some parsley, almonds, or pine nuts, and there you have it, guys. Hope you like this recipe. Bye! Let me show you guys how I made my taboon bread. This is a Palestinian bread, and it's super crispy on the outside, and it's nice and fluffy in the inside. I like to be challenged, and I saw that this bread is made with rocks. So guess what I did? I made my husband take me to Home Depot and buy some rocks. Just make sure to scrub them really well and make sure that they were super clean before preheating my oven at 500 degrees for about 20 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to make our bread. I have half a cup of water and half a cup of milk that has been warmed up, and then I'm going to add a tablespoon of yeast and a tablespoon of sugar. While the yeast wakes up from its slumber, in a bowl, we're going to add 3 cups of flour, a pinch of salt, and we're also going to need a 1/4 cup of good oil. I use Palestinian oil, but you can use whatever olive oil you have. We're going to incorporate everything into the bowl, and we're going to mix until the dough ball doesn't stick to the side of the bowl. Once it's ready, I'm going to slather a little bit more olive oil onto it, and then we're going to cover it and let this double up in size. Now we're going to punch the air out of the dough, and then we're going to make some dough balls. And depending on how big you want your bread, that's how big you're going to make your balls. I wanted my bread to be more like the size of a tortilla. That way everybody can get their own bread and no one has to like pinch it and then just leave the bread there. Once you make the dough balls, you're going to cover it and let this rest for another 20 minutes before going in here and flattening out your bread and making it to the shape that you like. By this time, your rocks should be nice and hot. You're going to place the dough onto the rocks, making sure you don't burn your fingers, and then you're going to close your oven and let this cook for about 5 minutes or until it's nice and golden brown like this. Once it's ready, you're just going to cover it up with the kitchen towel and it's ready to enjoy. Hope you like this recipe. Bye.